guys. Alright, something's happening right here. Alright, so I'm out in the barn. It's a little bit of a cool night, and then we get the next couple of days going to be little chances of rain. Tuesday's like a pretty good chance of rain. Tomorrow is just a small, but we get a little bit of cold nights and cool mornings, like 40s, toward the end of the week, I think. Anyway, I haven't taken down the tarp. I was just fixing to go do it, and I thought, let me check what's going to happen with the weather. And I still think we're going to have cool days, and I would just rather keep the wind from blowing in on them. So I thought we would have a visit with the goats. So you can see right here, baby girl's right beside me, and Frodo is checking out let me flip this. It's Frodo. That's his butt to us right there, little fat tub with his butt hanging out. He is checked out. He starts feeding in this feeder right here in the corner, and he works his way around to that end down there. They're so funny. Frodo. Frodo. Bilbo's gonna look at me. Hey guys. Pippin. I think they're all kind of just trying to decide, why did she stop in here? Why did she stop in here and sit? Oh, Mary. No, ma'am. Frodo's gone ahead and laid down for the evening over there. That's cute. Actually, usually he lays on this platform I put in here. I plan to do a couple more platforms. And usually he lays on it. Bilbo. Bilbo. Look at her fat. Gimli. 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 He's the one with one eye. You see his head is cocked. He's always walked with his head cocked to one side because he has to use it to see out of the good eye. We don't really know how much he can see out of the bad eye at all, if he can at all. Mary. If y'all remember, I may have new people that don't know everything about the goats, but look at Bilbo. He's like so forlorn. Just gonna sit there and stare out into the openness, wishing he could get out there. Baby girl, don't eat my hair. Can y'all hear her behind me? She's actually making smacking noises. So Frodo, which is laying down over there in the corner, he is a go on down. Nope. Maybe Frodo's because he's little, the only one that'll fit up on that. It's too funny. Frodo, back there in that corner, that little face looking at us, was my first goat. He was born to one of Steph's goats, Annie, and Annie was not a good mama. And so I got Frodo 7 days after he's born. I left him on her and watched him like a hawk, making sure she was feeding him. But once she fed, she left, and he would just be by himself. Or there was another goat called Granny Goat that would sometimes hang with him, which was really sweet, because maybe she had always wanted a baby but couldn't have them, I don't know, or had babies and missed having babies, I don't know. But she tended, in fact, when I found him out there in the field, Steph was at work, and I texted her and I said, "You've got a baby?" And she goes, "No," and she didn't think any of her goats were pregnant. And I said, I think it belongs to that goat that you call Granny. I said, she's the one that's with him. And she said, no, I don't think she can have any babies anymore. So as it turned out later, as I watched, it was Annie that would come up and let him nurse. Does the salt on my leg taste good, baby? She used to do that all the time. If y'all remember when I first got her, baby Gimli. When I first got her, she would constantly licking the salt on my arms or my legs. Sweet boy. But yeah, it ended up being Annie. And so I watched him like a hawk for those 7 days as I started working really hard on preparing myself for taking him. But I wanted him to get as much of Mama's milk as he could those first. And then Bilbo was the next. Bilbo, I only had Frodo a couple of days actually in the house. Had him in a kennel. No, don't chew my bracelet. Had little pads around him, so little TT. So when he TT'd, it wouldn't go everywhere. Sometimes I put a diaper on him. Well, I guess kept a diaper on him till his, well, just how it goes. Eventually, it's not baby poop no more. But yeah, they were both bottle babies. This big one looking at me. Daddy says or something. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. Do not pull on my bracelet. No. And Bree says he always acts like he wants to fight somebody. Anyway, Frodo's sweet. And when I had COVID, Frodo was just a few months old when I had COVID. The very first time when COVID just came around and nobody really knew about it, but yeah, I had it. Me and Mom had it at the same. Well, actually, a lot of us of our family had it. It kind of just sort of went around, but me and Mom had it exactly at the same time. And then Levi got it like about a week after I had it, but his was like 2 days, and he was fine. And I was bad. I was like to the point of one night thinking that Jesus was coming, and I cleaned my house and I did everything all way up into the late hours of the night, talking to Jesus the whole time because I thought I'm fixing to go see this man tonight. I just my head, there was something going on in my head, and I was like, I don't know what COVID, none of us really knew, but I felt like I had some kind of crazy amoeba or some virus thing in my head, like in my brain. I just had it was horrible that night. The next day it was fine. So I was sick for about 5 or 6 days. One of those days when I was starting to feel better, and it was really sunny outside, but it was cold. I put my jacket on and I come out and I laid on Levi's trampoline because trampoline was warm, soaking up the sun, even though it was a cold day. And Frodo just bounced. He bounced up onto I had one of those yard benches. He bounced up on that yard bench and then up onto the trampoline, and he loved on me a little bit, and then he curled up and laid down beside me. And we just laid there on the trampoline, soaking in that warmth. Bilbo was never as lovey. Even though in the house he had all the same loving and all that kind of stuff when he was in the house with Frodo, both of them babies, bottle babies, he never was that lovey kind, but Frodo was. And Gimli is very loving. And, well, baby girl is, but baby girl was raised different. She was a show goat, dairy show goat. So she had a lot of work. You can even walk her you can put a halter on her and lead her around. This boy right here, Pippin, Merry and Pippin are brother and sister. And I named them, even though in Lord of the Rings, Merry and Pippin were brothers or cousins, but they were both boys. But Pippin is very, very sweet, and Merry is not. And Merry was babied because Merry was sickly, and we didn't know. When Daddy brought her to me, he's like, she may not make it through the night. And for like 2 days, it was around the clock. Even at night, I set my alarm for every 2 hours. And then on that, it would have been the third day or second day. Well, like the next morning. So it would have been the third day of When I come down the hallway, my alarm was, went off. I come down the hallway. It'd been 2 hours since the last time I tried to feed her because I was literally giving her droppers, is all she was taking. Her mouth was so tiny. She had the tiniest mouth, so tiny. And she just acted like she couldn't fit a bottle in her mouth, which you come to realize that's not the case. And she can get a bottle in her mouth because on that third morning, when I come down the hallway expecting to do dropper things again, she was standing up in that kennel waiting for me, her little tail trying to wag. You are not eating my bracelet. Now, stop. 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 You're not going to have my bracelet. So that was and after that, she was just as hungry for a bottle as this boy right here. And then Sam, of course. Sam, I'm talking about you, baby. He was a rescue. His mama had twins and walked off and left him. And I wasn't directly contacted about Sam. The message that I got, the email that I got, actually was for Lester. But they were at the point of being full capacity, and I had been telling people. That's when I did his, his emails for him and some of his direct messages and emails. No ma'am, no ma'am, no. And he had told me, he said, Kim, we can't take it anymore. We're at capacity right now. So when I got the email about him and a little picture, I was like, oh my gosh. And so, yeah, I drove all the way to Montgomery, I believe, the other side of Montgomery, to get him. And he, like I said, his mama had twins, and she had just sort of took one and left him back. And so he was, oh my gosh, he was so tiny. I think he was probably tinier than any of the goats have been so far. I was kind of in shock when she come walking out because I thought she couldn't have more than something like a cat in her hand. That's how little his was. His face was so little. And he's kind of become not the leader, but the protector. He doesn't, if y'all remember seeing any videos with Bree, when she does any feeding for me when, like, I'm gone and she's going to feed up, Sam has always been the one that didn't want her coming into their pasture, into their area. He didn't want it. And then he's adorable to watch him bounce across the pasture. He bounces like on four legs, a bounce, a bounce, a bounce. Aren't you adorable, Sam? Sam is a haired sheep, so he never has to be shaved. He will lose some of his thickness. They all kind of get woolly in the winter, and then they lose some of that, and they get slick in the summer. Hey, Mary. But then it's weird too because they all have a different type of hair. Mary and Pippin being brother and sister, and she's slick, where Pippin's got kind of a wiry curly hair, and Gimli has a wiry curly hair, but Bilbo is kind of thick. It's kind of slick. And then of course Frodo has got the long hair, like his breed. Hi, Frodo, baby. Frodo. Come here, Frodo. I bet if I had a snack, you'd come over here. I'm loving the barn. I think they love the barn. I wish I'd had a camera out because now they know that I can't put feed in their bowls while they're in here. So even though they've come up for the evening and they're ready to eat, when I come in, all I got to do is open this door now to come in here because I know I'm going to lock that one. I'm going to run them out and lock it. So at the beginning, when I would have to chase them out, like with a stick or something. But now, baby girl, just pulled my ponytail. Now all I do is say, okay, y'all need to go out while I get your food, and they just file out, and then they turn around about where that tree is, which you can't see it because it's dark, but it's not but about 10 foot on the other side of that gate, and they all turn around and watch me. They're waiting for me to come back and open it. I haven't been letting them out. I keep them in here at night. I don't let them out till in the morning. That way I know they stay home until we get to working on those fences. Now I seen Bree and Daniel down there on the just a little while ago, so I guess she's already getting started either measuring or seeing what she needs or whatnot. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to patch it. I'm not for sure. Maybe the goats were bothering them today. I don't know. After lunch today, I came home and did things inside the house and didn't really come back outside. I went out the front door a couple of times and did things out there, but never come to the back. So they may have been down there bothering her. I don't know. It's funny because I'll go down there and hang out, but they know when it's time to eat, they're going to come home when it's time to settle in for the evening. So who knows? Maybe she had to run them off today. I know they were already here when I come out, but that doesn't mean they've been here all day. Anyway. Alright, I'm going in. I got eggs over here I just gathered. So nice to have the pool gone back behind me. Tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I'm going to get this deck out of here and pick up the stones, the stepping stones, and stack them somewhere neat and out of the way. I may just stack them right here on this little pavement, this little bit of a slab I have, in case I do decide to use them in the garden for anything. And you remember, half of my garden out there, the old garden that I won't be using this year, does have stepping stones in it. So that's actually kind of a lot of stepping stones I could possibly use. I hear somebody in reverse on a golf cart or something. Anyway, I'm going to work out here tomorrow. And I may even go ahead and do my string line for my new fence. And maybe even attempt at digging that. Right now the ground is not quite dry. I mean, we've still had rain. We're going to get rain in a couple of days, so I may go ahead and pull that gate in here and decide where my 2 posts were going to go, and then get ready to set that new fence so I can sort of get an idea of my real yard and how it's going to look. And then where am I going to want his trampoline exactly? I think his trampoline would go really good right here, but we've got this old thing right here, so I don't know. I may try taking that apart. I don't know what else to use it for. I don't think anybody needs it. I could offer, but it was kind of hard when Daniel moved it because I didn't build it with a floor, so we had to try to make sure it stayed on the forks, and it was kind of hard. But I actually built it pretty good. I mean, it's built pretty strong. And then I'm gonna have to fill in holes because when Minky was hooked out here, her cable is still out here. It's hooked right here. And it's all wadded up here. But when she was here and using that to go in during the night and sleep, and she dug. Minky's a digger. She digs horribly big, deep holes. So there's a big old hole in there. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to do out here that's just cleanup stuff, not starting new projects, just cleaning up what stuff is here. But I do really feel like I want to do some kind of privacy pickets on that fence, and then plant some roses or something that's, Katie, ow, Katie, something that's an evergreen. I don't want anything to look dead in the winter. Even if it's like those, like the red-tipped hedge or something, there will never be a flower on it, but at least it would be green, and then you can turn those little red tips, which is always pretty, if I keep them trimmed down, so you can always keep them at a certain height, and then you can still see the pickets behind them. Or maybe some kind of variation of roses and those. I don't know, because those grow together like hedge. Roses, I mean, you have to really pack them in tight to keep them where they're so close together you can't see through them like you can hedge. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go in And I have kept y'all for 31 minutes, and it's ridiculous, and I probably just need to edit this down. But I know some of you guys just like to talk. Maybe this was not a fun one. I didn't really do anything but visit with goats and walk around out here in the dark. Anyway, get my 3 eggs. Only got 3. I know those other chickens. 3 are laying. I get a white egg, a brown egg, and a green egg. That's about normal. That's what I've been getting. Sometimes I get 4, and sometimes I get 5. And they're brown. So, somewhere those other chickens are laying. That means 3 chickens laid. But what about the other 3 hens? They're laying somewhere. I know we're just now starting to get, everybody's kind of building up their chickens are laying again. Mama said those are laying really good down there. I told her I can sell her eggs for her if she wants me to. But let me get in here. Anyway, I need to get them back to the coop. At some point I need to break down, and when mine are up like that, like they are at night, to go ahead and clip those wings. Right now they're still little and they only know the coop. They haven't had a chance like my grown big chickens to learn what it's like to live in freedom and have a tree as your home. All right, I'm going in. I love you guys. God bless y'all. And I'll see you later. Let me turn you off. Can't turn you off. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.